CollegeFootballHeadz YouTube. What's going on? It is your boy, Coach DC, coming back at you today with another video. And so, yeah, I told you I was going to continue answering these questions, but I had to kind of cherry pick this one because these are the people who I love talking to. So this guy, he's always saying something, and he kind of told me, basically what he was saying was there's no skill gap in the game anymore. That's the reason why he doesn't play. It's just no skill gap. It's just the game. It's just this. It's just arcade. I've seen some of those same sentiments in the comments to a certain degree. And one thing about me, my level of objectivity when it comes to this stuff is I'm real objective, because I can agree with some things, but I can, however, point out to you where you may not be so factual in other areas. And so I think this is like one of those cases. As you watch these highlights, you just see me able to put myself in position to, make catches and all that kind of stuff. And so I identify catching as there's a legitimate skill gap in the way that you can catch this year. Even in some of the mechanics, there are mechanics, and then there are high level mechanics. We're gonna get into some of that in a few. But for me, the way that I think about it, it's like there's more of a knowledge gap in Madden than there is an actual skill gap, because the skill gap it's only surrounded by certain things. But the knowledge gap, what I mean is, you see people who win games based upon their play calling, the trick plays that they know, and how to put their routes together and all that stuff. That's just a knowledge gap. And we're all trying to exploit the defense in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's through what we would deem as legitimate football means, or glitchy video game means, or whatever. And so there's always varying opinion on that, and some of it's warranted. I can honestly say that. But again, most of this game is built around those knowledge gaps. Now, let me give you an example that may clear up what I'm saying a little bit more. Let's say I know how to get the guy open on this fade route, and for me, this fade route is probably open a lot more than people know. But the problem is that people can't make the throw. For me, I've figured out something with it, and I know how to make that throw. Like even on a pass like this, like I told y'all, I don't know why I always want to say double Mabel, but the double mug stuff, man, you will get murdered out here in these streets running double mug for real, like straight up. Well, you better be zone sufficient, because if you come out here running man to man, you're gonna get smacked up. But anyway, so my point is that, like, if you can't make the throw, you would see less of the BS kind of plays, or those like you would see less RPOs if it was a challenge to make the throw, and the throw wasn't so easy to make. That's why most people run RPOs, is because it's an easy way to get yards. It's kind of clunky as to how it gets defended, but it rescues a lot of people. If it was less successful, then it would be a different thing. But for me, when I talk about like the throwing, like most people will look at the catching part of this stuff and go, wow, okay, yeah, you're able to make those catches. But I say the same thing like about swatting the ball and playing defense. And so you saw me right there get a swat. This is me and one of my clients right here. Now watch him. This is what we're actually working on. We're just working on swatting, and we're working on, like, I'm going to try to promote, or I'm going to try to teach it how it's supposed to be taught. And I always tell guys, hey, don't try to jump with the receiver. Play through the receiver's hands on the way down, especially if it's a taller receiver. All right. So this is another one of my guys. This schemes. Y'all please pay close attention, because this is one of my dudes. And man, his ability to get himself in great catch position. Now, just to show, I showed y'all that first play. Show y'all I'm not running fluff defense. This is me and him really like getting into it right here. And I'm talking about, man, that is crazy how clean he can get himself into those catch positions. EA, please listen when I'm telling y'all, man. Get the pass protection thing, move it to the bottom of the screen somewhere. Okay? I said that real calm. All right. Now, you'll see me throwing this next pass, and again, back to me and my other client. Watch him play through the hands with the swat. I'm telling y'all, there are things to this swatting thing. And so for me, that's a skill set. You have to understand, first of all, you just got to stop going for picks on this game. Some of y'all are crying and complaining about you can't play defense, and you're going for a pick every play, and it's just not working out. And you got to learn to go swat, knockout. Now, if you're playing schemes, you can just kind of like get your Bibles, and I don't mean mechanics, like, and just pray that he's having an off day. Because it doesn't happen often. Y'all see me dropping that help out there. I'm trying to get that help out there to the spot. And I'm telling you, man, it's a long day in the office when you just got to sit here and deal with it. And you feel like you're playing it fairly well, and it's just not happening. I'm telling y'all, man, do not run into one of these killers out here, because these are the people that's discouraging you guys from playing, and y'all are going to EA crying about the jump ball. But it's a skill. I can't complain about them doing it. Hey, I do it. I do it just as good, if not better at times, because it's like I said, there's different levels to it. And for me, it's the knowing thing. So that's why I pump mechanics, because I feel like if I can teach you guys the how, the ins and outs and ingredients of the how and how to become consistent at it, then you can correct yourself with the mechanics. It's like making these throws. When you're watching schemes make all those catches, right? It seems incredible. The animations are incredible. You know what amazes me about those clips is how he has managed to sync, how he manages to sync his footwork to the throw and combine it all within his pocket presence. It's deep. And it's like, I can tell where he's throwing the ball, but he throws it to that spot. I'm telling y'all, Revamp is a monster. And so those fade routes and some of those other routes that you guys haven't even really tried to throw and discover yet, because the throws are difficult. I'm telling you, you gotta get your mechanics right, man. Especially if you're not gonna do it for college. I'm telling you, pre-order your 26 mechanics Bible, because I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be some stuff in there that's gonna really it's gonna make you stop and stare. Because I'm telling you, when I'm playing this game and when I was playing the beta, I could just see certain stuff and I'm like, wow, you can really do that, and it's really that direct. Now, let's bring it up to speed. So in today's game, especially in college, most people will define skill as your ability to move, your ability to juke, your ability to, spin and make moves and all that kind of stuff. And justifiably so, because that is a part of it. For me, I look at your stick skills as, your pocket presence, all that other kind of stuff. I know some guys who are not, they're not very flashy when it comes to their running styles, but man, they are the most effective runners you would ever see, because they're patient. Their stops and starts are really great. And so this game has catered, especially the college game and the Madden, for at least beta wise, has catered to this, because now there is responsiveness in the movement, just in the basic, LTS or left thumbstick movement. There's responsiveness in it. There's responsiveness in it in the pocket, unlike we've ever had. So yeah, that pocket presence stuff is gonna be just crazy this year. But with that, everything is becoming more advanced, and so that's just the one thing I'm telling guys. It's like, hey man, as the game gets more advanced, the mechanics have to get more advanced, and so yeah, it might require sometimes multiple buttons and that type of deal. But once you get a rhythm and flow, man, that rhythm and flow on this game is crazy. You can look at me run down the field and you see how those guys They never close. Again, the defense pursues you at the speed that you run. And so once you learn to use that to your advantage, I can go to the line, put a foot in the ground, and hit that bounce out shot right there like it's nothing. It's like I can hit it and cut it, and then, yeah, I can get, you run inside and get a little gritty in there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Got to get the tough yards, but that bounce shot is crazy when you understand how to continue, how to keep your momentum going forward, yet you're changing direction at the same time. And it's like one step leads to the next step. It's almost like you're running and then it's like pop, pop. I know, y'all like, Coach, what are you talking about? But yeah, you'll see. Yeah, right there. It's like that foot in the ground, and there's anticipation in it this year. To me, that's the beauty of this game, is the anticipation that you can have on both sides of the ball. It's not just offense, not just defense. I'm talking even in the special teams tackling, man. Yeah, it's a beast. Anyway, man, I'll hit y'all later on, boys. Coach.